Pilot error generally refers to an accident in which an action or decision made by the pilot was the cause or a contributing factor that led to the accident, but also includes the pilot's failure to make a correct decision or take proper action. Errors are intentional actions that fail to achieve their intended outcomes. Chicago Convention defines accident as an occurrence associated with the operation of an aircraft, in which a person is fatally or seriously injured except when the injuries are inflicted by other persons. Hence, the definition of the pilot error does not include deliberate crash. The causes of pilot error include psychological and physiological human limitations. Various forms of threat and error management have been implemented into pilot training programs to teach crew members how to deal with impending situations that arise throughout the course of a flight. Accounting for the way human factors influence the actions of pilots is now considered standard practice by accident investigators when examining the chain of events that led to an accident. Modern accident investigators avoid the words pilot error, as the scope of their work is to determine the cause of an accident, rather than to apportion blame. Furthermore, any attempt to incriminate the pilots does not consider that they are part of a broader system, which in turn may be accountable for their fatigue, work pressure, or lack of training. The International Civil Aviation Organization and its member states therefore adopted James Reason's model of causation in 1993 in an effort to better understand the role of human factors in aviation accidents. Pilot error is nevertheless a major cause of air accidents. In 2004, it was identified as the primary reason for 78.6% of disastrous general aviation accidents, and as the major cause of 75.5% of car accidents in the United States. There are multiple factors that can cause pilot error. Mistakes in the decision-making process can be due to habitual tendencies, biases, as well as a breakdown in the processing of the information coming in. For aircraft pilots, in extreme circumstances, these errors are highly likely to result in fatalities. Pilots work in complex environments and are routinely exposed to high amounts of situational stress in the workplace, inducing pilot error which may result in a threat to flight safety. While aircraft accidents are infrequent, they are highly visible and often involve significant numbers of fatalities. For this reason, research on causal factors and methodologies of mitigating risk associated with pilot error is exhaustive. Pilot error results from physiological and psychological limitations inherent in humans. Quote, causes of error include fatigue, workload, and fear as well as cognitive overload, poor interpersonal communications, imperfect information processing, and flawed decision making. Throughout the course of every flight, crews are intrinsically subjected to a variety of external threats and commit a range of errors that have the potential to negatively impact the safety of the aircraft. The term threat is defined as any event external to flight crew's influence which can increase the operational complexity of a flight. Threats may further be broken down into environmental threats and airline threats. Environmental threats are ultimately out of the hands of crew members and the airline, as they hold no influence on adverse weather conditions, air traffic control shortcomings, bird strikes, and high terrain. Conversely, airline threats are not manageable by the flight crew, but may be controlled by the airline's management. These threats include aircraft malfunctions, cabin interruptions, operational pressure, ground ramp errors, events, cabin events and interruptions, ground maintenance errors, and inadequacies of manuals and charts. The term error is defined as any action or inaction leading to deviation from team or organizational intentions. Error stems from physiological and psychological human limitations such as illness, medication, stress, alcohol, drug abuse, fatigue, emotion, etc. Error is inevitable in humans and is primarily related to operational and behavioral mishaps. Errors can vary from incorrect altimeter setting and deviations from flight course to more severe errors such as exceeding maximum structural speeds or forgetting to put down landing or take-off flaps. Reasons for negative reporting of accidents include staff being too busy, confusing data entry forms, lack of training and less education, lack of feedback to staff on reported data, and punitive organizational cultures. Wiegmann and Chappell invented 3 cognitive models to analyze approximately 4,000 pilot factors associated with more than 2,000 U.S. Navy aviation mishaps. Although the 3 cognitive models have slight differences in the types of errors, all 3 lead to the same conclusion: errors in judgment. The 3 steps are decision making, goal S,